The first thing I noticed when I opened my eyes was the unfamiliar ceiling, all sleek white with recessed lighting. My head throbbed, but not from alcohol. I never drink enough to black out, especially not at work celebrations. The second thing I noticed was my phone, carefully placed on the nightstand with a single message notification from Cade. It's done. She's playing right into it. My name is Rebecca, and I'm about to teach my best friend what happens when you try to destroy someone who sees you coming. Good morning, Sleeping Beauty. Anna's voice rang through the doorway of her guest room. She stood there in designer silk pajamas, holding 2 steaming mugs of coffee. Her smile was too wide, too perfect. How's the head? I forced myself to look groggy and confused. What time is it? Just after 9. Here, you look like you need this. She handed me a mug and perched on the edge of the bed. Do you remember much about last night? I took a careful sip. The party at Morton's, celebrating my promotion to senior partner. Then you insisted we come back here for a nightcap. I paused. Things get fuzzy after that. Anna's smile widened. Oh, honey, we did more than have nightcaps. You signed some papers, remember? Important ones. My stomach clenched, but I kept my face neutral. Papers? She reached into her robe pocket and pulled out a folded document. You were so generous last night. Said something about how I deserved more success than you. Then you insisted on signing over your condo, your car, and, this is the best part, your shares in that family trust. I let my coffee mug slip from my fingers. It crashed onto the hardwood floor, dark liquid spreading like blood. What? No, that's impossible. I would never. But you did? Anna unfolded the paper with flourish. See? Your signature, clear as day, notarized and everything. I grabbed the document with trembling hands, scanning the contents. My signature was there, along with witness signatures and official stamps. But there, in section 4.3, was the clause I knew would be there, the one about Blue Sky Holdings. This can't be legal, I whispered. Oh, but it is. I had my lawyer draw it up specially. Anna stood, smoothing her silk pajamas. You should probably start packing. I'll need the condo vacant by the end of the week. As she walked to the door, she paused. You know what's funny? You always said karma would catch up with people who deserve it. Guess you were right. The moment she left, I pulled out my phone and replayed the voice memo from last night. My own voice, clear and steady. Testing, testing. It's 11:42 p.m. I'm about to sign what Anna thinks is her doctored contract. Cade has the real one safe, with timestamps and digital signatures. The fake one has the Blue Sky Holdings clause, just like we predicted. A text from Kenneth popped up. Meeting at Café Laurent in 30. Bring the copy you stuffed in your purse. I reached for my designer bag, still sitting where I'd carefully placed it last night. Inside was the identical contract, but with one crucial difference. This version would destroy everything Anna had built. My phone buzzed again. This time it was April. She took the bait, just like you said she would. I allowed myself a small smile as I got dressed. Anna thought she was teaching me about karma, but she forgot the most important lesson. Sometimes karma wears Louboutins and carries a law degree. I took one last look around the guest room of my soon-to-be former best friend. The thing about being a litigation attorney is that you learn to see betrayal coming. The thing about being me is that when I see it coming, I make sure to be ready. Game on, Anna, I whispered, grabbing my bag. Game on. Café Laurent was quiet at this hour, just the way Kenneth liked it. He sat in his usual corner booth, 2 cups of black coffee waiting. His expression was grim as I slid into the seat across from him. Show me, he said without preamble. I pulled out both contracts, the one Anna had and my copy. Kenneth put on his reading glasses and began comparing them side by side. Look at section 4.3, I said, pointing to the clause. Blue Sky Holdings. Ring any bells? Kenneth's eyebrows shot up. That was Anna's dog's name, the one she had in law school. Exactly. She couldn't resist leaving her signature. That's not the only thing wrong with her version. I pulled out my phone and opened Cade's forensic report. The notary stamps? They're perfect copies of legitimate ones, but the digital timestamps don't match. Amateur mistake. You knew she was planning this, Kenneth said. It wasn't a question. She's been dropping hints for months, always asking about my family trust, making comments about how I didn't deserve my success. I took a sip of coffee. 2 weeks ago, I caught her assistant Marley accessing my private files after hours. And you let her? I had Cade plant some fake documents, the kind that would make Anna think she had leverage. I smiled thinly. She's always been predictable when she's jealous. Kenneth leaned back, studying me. There's something else. Something you're not telling me. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A text from Anna. Having fun with Kenneth? Tell him I said hi. BTW, your office contents are being packed up as we speak. Hope you didn't leave anything important in your desk. She's watching us, I muttered, scanning the cafe. Of course she is. Kenneth's voice was calm. But what she doesn't know is that I've been watching her. That trust she's so interested in. Someone tipped her off about it. Someone who knows about the original terms. My blood ran cold. What do you mean, original terms? Your father's trust wasn't just for you, Rebecca. It was split between 2 beneficiaries originally. Kenneth pulled out an old yellowed envelope. Your sister April's name was on it too. That's impossible. April was cut out years ago when she went to jail. That's what everyone was told. But the paperwork for that change, it never went through proper channels. Someone intercepted it. The pieces started falling into place. Anna's been visiting April in rehab. My Aunt Daisy mentioned seeing her there. Now you're getting it. Kenneth gathered the contracts. Anna's playing a longer game than you realized. This isn't just about your money or your success. She's using April somehow. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Marley. I need to talk to you. Anna's making me do things. Illegal things. Please help. Well, I said, showing Kenneth the message. Looks like we just found our weak link. Be careful, Kenneth warned. If Anna really does have connections to your family trust, this goes deeper than a jealous friend trying to take you down. Someone helped her set this up. I stood, gathering my things. Then it's time I paid my sister a visit. Rebecca. Kenneth's voice stopped me. There's one more thing. The notary who supposedly signed Anna's version of the contract. She died 3 months ago. I felt a chill despite the warm cafe. So either Anna forged a dead woman's signature, or someone who had access to the notary's stamps helped her before the notary died. Kenneth's eyes were serious. Watch your back. And Rebecca, whatever you're planning, make it count. As I walked out of the cafe, I spotted a familiar car across the street. Inside, Anna sat watching, that perfect smile still on her face. I lifted my coffee cup in a mock toast. Let her think she's winning. Let her believe she's got me cornered. Because while she's been studying my weaknesses, I've been learning hers. And unlike Anna, when I strike, I don't leave survivors. First stop, April's rehab center. Time to find out what my sister knows about the woman who's trying to destroy me. Sunrise Recovery Center looked more like a boutique hotel than a rehab facility. April sat on a bench in the garden, her dark hair longer than I remembered, her frame thinner. 3 years of silence stretched between us like a chasm. Well, if it isn't Saint Rebecca, she said without looking up, come to check if I've screwed up again? You look good, I offered, sitting beside her. Cut the crap. Why are you really here? April's hands fidgeted with a worn leather journal. Finally noticed someone's been messing with your perfect life? How long have you known Anna? April's laugh was bitter. Knew that would get your attention. Your best friend shows up to visit the family screw-up and suddenly you care? April. No. She stood abruptly. You don't get to ghost me for 3 years and then show up asking favors. Anna was here for me. Where were you? I was trying to protect you. By cutting me off? By freezing my trust fund when I needed help? April's voice cracked. Anna told me everything. How you convinced Dad to change the trust before he died. How you made sure I couldn't touch a cent of it. I felt the blood drain from my face. That's what she told you? She showed me the papers. Your signature, right there next to Dad's, dated 2 weeks before he died. Those papers were forged. I reached for her arm, but she pulled away. April, think about it. Why would a stranger suddenly take interest in you, start visiting you in rehab? Because unlike my sister, she actually gives a damn. Really? I pulled out my phone, showing her the photos Cade had recovered. Then explained these. Anna, meeting with known document forgers. Anna, accessing trust documents through her assistant's login. Anna, parading around in designer clothes bought with money that isn't hers. April's face went pale. No, you're lying. Check your journal, I said quietly. The one she gave you when you started rehab. I bet there's a note in there. Something about destroying people. Her hands trembled as she opened the leather book. The note was there just as I'd predicted. Sometimes you don't destroy a person. You let them destroy themselves. She played us both, I continued. Used our estrangement against us. She knew I'd cut contact to force you into rehab, knew you'd resent me for it. Perfect setup. April sank back onto the bench. The trust fund. She said if I helped her, she'd make sure I got my share back. There's more, I sat beside her. The original trust was split between us equally. Someone intercepted the changes years ago. Anna knew about it somehow. Aunt Daisy, April whispered. She was here last month with Anna. They seemed familiar. A piece of the puzzle clicked into place. Aunt Daisy worked at the law firm that handled Dad's estate. Rebecca? April's voice was small, like when we were kids and she'd crawl into my bed during thunderstorms. What do we do? I took her hand, surprised when she didn't pull away. First, we get proof of every conversation you had with Anna, every promise, every document she showed you. I kept everything. April patted her journal. Receipts, notes, even recorded some conversations on my phone. Force of habit from NA. Document everything in case you need to make amends. Good. I squeezed her hand. Because we're going to need it all. Why? Because dear Anna just tried to steal everything I own using a forged contract, and I'm betting she used the same methods to alter Dad's trust. I stood, helping April up. Ready to help me take down the woman who tried to destroy our family? April's smile was sharp, familiar. For the first time in years, I saw my sister instead of an addict. On one condition. Name it. When this is over, we fix us. No more running away, no more cutting people off. Deal? I pulled her into a hug, feeling her surprise before she hugged back. Deal. As we walked inside to gather her evidence, my phone buzzed. A text from Anna. Hope you're enjoying family reunion time. Shame about all those trust fund changes. But I guess karma works in mysterious ways. April read over my shoulder and snorted. She really doesn't know you very well, does she? No, I smiled. But she's about to. Anna's penthouse was packed with people, all there to celebrate her successful business acquisition. The irony wasn't lost on me as I sipped champagne and watched her hold court, showing off my Cartier watch to her Instagram followers. And here's the woman of the hour, Anna called out, spotting me. Come, darling, let's get a photo together, for old time's sake. I plastered on my best smile, letting her pull me close. Her assistant Marley hovered nearby, phone ready to capture the moment. Perfect lighting, Marley said nervously, her hands shaking slightly as she took photos. Marley, be a dear and fetch us more champagne, Anna commanded. As Marley scurried off, Anna's grip on my arm tightened. Enjoying the party? Almost as much as you're enjoying my watch, I replied sweetly. Oh, this old thing? She twisted it on her wrist. Consider it a finder's fee for helping you understand what really matters in life. I excused myself and followed Marley to the kitchen. She was alone, gripping the counter with white knuckles. "Rough night?" I asked, pulling out my phone. I can't talk to you," she whispered. "That's fine. You can just look instead." I showed her the photos Cade had recovered, screenshots of her login being used to access confidential files, security footage of her letting Anna into the office after hours, emails discussing document alterations. "She said it was just routine file management," Marley's voice cracked. "She said it was legal." "Like the notary stamps? The ones from a woman who died 3 months ago?" Marley's face went white. "What?" "Anna's been setting you up as her fall guy, Marley. Every illegal document, every forged signature, they all trace back to your login credentials." "No, she wouldn't." "Check your email," I interrupted. "The one you use for work. Look for any messages about Blue Sky Holdings." Marley pulled out her phone, hands trembling as she scrolled. There's dozens of them, all sent from my account, but Anna used your login, set up a paper trail, making it look like you were the mastermind." I leaned closer. "Question is, what are you going to do about it?" Before she could answer, Anna's voice rang out. "Marley, where's that champagne?" "Think fast," I whispered, slipping her my card. "Your career or hers?" The party continued, a surreal parade of social media influencers and wannabe celebrities, all orbiting Anna like moths to a flame. I watched her work the room, wondering if anyone else saw through her perfect facade. My phone buzzed. A text from April. "Aunt Daisy's been calling Anna non-stop. Something's got her spooked." Another buzz. Cade. "Found something in the metadata. Those trust documents? They were altered using software licensed to Daisy's old law firm." I smiled into my champagne glass. The pieces were falling perfectly into place. "Everyone," Anna clinked her glass. "I'd like to make a toast to new beginnings and to karma finally catching up with those who deserve it." The crowd cheered. I raised my glass, locking eyes with her across the room. "To karma," I echoed. My phone vibrated again. This time it was Marley. "Can we meet alone? I think I've made a terrible mistake." I typed back quickly. "Tomorrow, 8 a.m., bring everything you have." As I gathered my coat to leave, Anna caught my arm. "Leaving so soon?" "Just wanted to give you time to enjoy your victory," I said smoothly. "Oh, and Anna, that watch you're wearing? The crown's loose. Might want to get that fixed before it falls off completely." Her smile faltered for just a second as her fingers went to the watch. In that moment, I saw what I needed: fear. Because the thing about karma, it's patient. It waits until you're at your highest before it reminds you how far you have to fall. And Anna's fall was about to be spectacular. Cade's apartment looked exactly like you'd expect a tech genius's lair to look. Multiple monitors, hard drives humming, and empty energy drink cans everywhere. He barely looked up as I entered, his fingers flying across keyboards. "Watch this," he said, pulling up a video file. "Security footage from your office, night before the contract signing." The grainy footage showed Anna and Marley, heads bent over documents. Anna's voice was clear. "Honestly, I don't care if I ruin her. She chose work over everyone." "Can you clean it up more?" I asked. "Already did, but that's not the interesting part." Cade switched screens. "Look at these bank transfers, all going to Blue Sky Holdings, registered in the Caymans 3 months ago." "Right when the notary died," I mused. "Can you trace them?" "Better." He grinned. "I can prove they were authorized using Aunt Daisy's work credentials. Same credentials used to alter the trust documents years ago." My phone buzzed. Marley. "Anna's going crazy. She can't find some files. Says they're missing from the safe." "Speaking of files," Cade said, "your aunt should be receiving a special delivery right about—" My phone rang. Aunt Daisy's number. "You need to stop this," she hissed without preamble. "Do you have any idea what you're doing?" Funny, I was about to ask you the same thing. I kept my voice level. How long have you been helping Anna steal from my family? It's not what you think. Really? Because I'm looking at proof that you helped alter Dad's trust, cutting April out, that you gave Anna access to confidential files, that you've been moving money through an offshore account named after her dead dog. Silence. I'm coming over, I said. Be ready to talk. Aunt Daisy's house was exactly as I remembered. Pristine, perfect, hiding secrets behind its manicured facade. She opened the door before I could knock. You've got some nerve? Save it. I pushed past her into the living room. Start talking. Why did you help her? Daisy sank into her armchair, suddenly looking every bit of her 60 years. Anna's mother. She had something on me from years ago when I first started at the firm. What? Evidence that I'd altered other documents, changed dates, signatures. She wrung her hands. When she died, Anna found the proof, said she'd expose me unless I helped her. So you betrayed your own family? I didn't know she'd take it this far, Daisy protested. She just wanted access to files at first. Then it was small changes to documents. By the time I realized what she was doing with the trust, it was too late, I finished, because she had you trapped. My phone buzzed again. A video message from Cade, Anna in her office, speaking to someone off camera. Once Rebecca's out of the way, we split everything. The trust, the properties, all of it. No one will ever know. I played it for Daisy. Her face crumpled. She promised she'd destroy the evidence against me if I helped, she whispered. She lied, just like she lied about everything else. I pulled out a USB drive. This contains every document you altered for her, every illegal transfer, every fake signature. Want to guess where copies are headed if you don't help me stop her? Daisy's hands shook as she reached for her desk drawer. There's something you should see. She pulled out an old file yellowed with age. Inside was the original trust document, with both my name and April's. Anna didn't just want money, Daisy said quietly. She wanted to prove you weren't better than her, that you could lose everything just like she did when her mother died. My phone lit up with a text from April. Aunt Daisy's office just called. Someone's accessing the main server. That'll be Anna, I smiled, trying to cover her tracks. Too bad Cade's already copied everything. What are you going to do? Daisy asked. I stood, gathering the evidence. I'm going to let Anna think she's winning, right until the moment she realizes she's lost everything. Rebecca? Daisy called as I reached the door. I'm sorry for all of it. I know, I said, not turning around. But sorry doesn't fix what's broken. Actions do. And I had plenty of actions planned for tomorrow. The restaurant's patio was packed with Anna's usual crowd of influencers when the process server approached. She was mid-photo shoot, posing with her morning mimosa when he cleared his throat. Ms. Pierce, you've been served. The look on her face as she read the injunction was worth every second of planning. Her perfectly manicured hands trembled as her eyes scanned the document. This is ridiculous, she sputtered, her Instagram-ready smile cracking. My lawyer will... Your lawyer's already been served, I said, stepping out from behind a potted plant, along with everyone else involved in your little scheme. The crowd of influencers had their phones out, capturing every moment. Anna's carefully curated public image was crumbling in real time. You can't prove anything, she hissed. Court's in an hour. Guess we'll find out. The courthouse steps were crowded with reporters. Someone had tipped them off about a high-profile fraud case. Anna swept past them in designer heels, her lawyer struggling to keep up. Inside, Kenneth sat at the plaintiff's table with me, laying out documents methodically. She brought April as a witness, he murmured. I know. I watched my sister being prepped by Anna's legal team. Just wait. Judge Martinez called the court to order, and the show began. Anna's lawyer presented their case first, painting me as a vindictive colleague who regretted a legitimate business transaction. Then came our turn. Your Honor, Kenneth stood. We have evidence of extensive document forgery, including the use of a deceased notary's stamp. We also have proof of illegal access to confidential files, unauthorized bank transfers, and witness tampering. One by one, we presented our evidence: the security footage, the bank records, Marley's testimony about being forced to assist in document alterations. Anna's smile grew tighter with each revelation. Then came April's testimony. Ms. Emerson, Anna's lawyer began, isn't it true that your sister deliberately cut you out of your family trust? April looked directly at me. No, that's what Anna told me to say. But it was a lie. The courtroom erupted. Anna's lawyer frantically tried to dismiss his own witness, but April continued. Anna approached me in rehab, showed me forged documents, said if I helped her take Rebecca down, she'd make sure I got my share of the trust back. April's voice was steady, but she was the one who helped steal it from me in the first place. Objection, Anna's lawyer shouted. I have proof, April said, pulling out her phone, recordings of every conversation, every promise she made, every threat when I started having doubts. Anna stood abruptly. She's lying. She's just a junkie looking for attention. Ms. Pierce, the judge warned, sit down or I'll have you removed. The final nail came from Aunt Daisy's video deposition, detailing years of document manipulation under Anna's mother's blackmail, continued by Anna herself. In light of this evidence, Judge Martinez declared, I'm ruling the contract null and void. All property rights are to be restored to Ms. Emerson immediately. Furthermore, I'm referring this case to the district attorney for criminal investigation. Anna's face went blank. The perfect mask finally cracked completely. You think you've won? She spat at me as court officers approached. You're just like me now. Using people, manipulating evidence, destroying lives. No, I said quietly. I'm just better at it than you. As they led her away, April joined me at the plaintiff's table. Did you see her face when I started talking? Priceless. You did good. I squeezed her hand. Really good. Ms. Emerson? A reporter caught us on the courthouse steps. Any comment on the ruling? I smiled directly into the camera. Justice was served. Sometimes karma needs a little help finding its target. My phone buzzed with a text from Cade. News is spreading fast. Anna's sponsors are pulling out. Her social media accounts are imploding. Ready for lunch? April asked as we descended the steps. I'm starving. Actually, I said, watching Anna being escorted to a police car, I think I've lost my appetite. Because even though we'd won, Anna's words echoed in my head. Had I become just like her to win? And if so, what did that make me? But that was a problem for tomorrow. Today was for victory. However bitter it might taste, the video went viral within hours. Anna, caught on camera months ago, smugly detailing her plan to destroy me. Cade had timed its release perfectly, right after the court ruling when public interest was at its peak. 2 million views and counting, April said, scrolling through her phone. We sat in my newly restored condo, watching Anna's carefully built influencer empire crumble in real time. Her biggest sponsor just dropped her, the cosmetics company. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing. Marley's lawsuit against Anna was making headlines. 3 more former employees had come forward with similar stories of manipulation and fraud. You should see her social media comments, April continued. They're brutal. Stop reading them, I said, but couldn't help glancing at my own phone. The legal blogs were having a field day. Your Karma Comes for Anna was trending. Kenneth called around midnight. They're investigating her previous business dealings. Found a pattern of similar schemes dating back years. How's she taking it? That's why I'm calling. She's requested a meeting. Just you and her at the detention center. April grabbed my arm. Don't go, it's another trap. But I had to see her. Had to know. The detention center was cold, sterile. Anna sat behind glass, still somehow managing to look elegant in her jumpsuit. Her smile was eerily calm. Come to gloat, she asked as I sat down. Why did you do it? Because you had everything handed to you. The perfect career, the family connections, the trust fund. Her voice was ice. You didn't deserve any of it. And you did? I made myself, fought for every opportunity, then watched you coast through life, pretending to be better than everyone else. She leaned forward. Tell me, how does it feel? Becoming exactly what you claim to hate? I'm nothing like you. No, she laughed. You manipulated your sister, used your aunt's guilt, destroyed my reputation. Sound familiar? You tried to take everything from me, and you took everything from me. The difference is, I admit what I am. Her eyes met mine. You're still pretending you're the hero of this story. The guard called time. As Anna stood, she pressed her hand against the glass. By the way, she said softly, how's that karma tasting now? I left the detention center shaking. April was waiting in the car. You okay? She asked. She's right, I whispered. I became her to beat her. No, April grabbed my shoulders. You protected yourself, protected us. There's a difference. My phone buzzed. A news alert. Anna's former assistant Marley had been found unconscious in her apartment, suspected overdose. Oh God, I breathed. Not your fault, April insisted. You didn't make any of these choices for them. But hadn't I? Every move, every revelation, carefully timed for maximum damage. I'd wanted Anna to lose everything, just like she'd tried to take everything from me. The next alert made my blood run cold. Anna had attempted suicide in her cell. Because it makes you swallow them first, I murmured. What? Something Mom used to say about revenge. It makes you swallow your enemies whole before you can spit them out. I looked at April. What have I done? What you had to do, she said firmly. Now stop. It's over. But it wasn't over. As we drove home, I saw Anna being escorted out on a stretcher. She turned her head, somehow knowing I was watching. Our eyes met. She smiled. Not the perfect practice smile from her Instagram posts, not the smug smile from the courtroom. This was different. Calm, knowing, like she'd won something I couldn't see yet. My phone buzzed one last time, a message from an unknown number. Karma isn't finished with either of us. See you soon. Delete it, April said, watching my face. Block the number, let it go. I did. But that night, looking at my reflection, I saw something new in my own eyes. Something that looked a lot like Anna's smile. The thing about becoming your enemy to defeat them? Sometimes you can't find your way back. And sometimes that's exactly what they wanted all along. Kenneth's office felt different now, warmer somehow with the late afternoon sun streaming through the windows. I placed the trust documents on his desk, freshly amended and notarized. You're sure about this? He asked, reviewing the changes. Split it equally between April and me, I confirmed, with the stipulation that she completes her degree and maintains sobriety for a year. She's already enrolled in classes, Kenneth smiled. Psychology of all things. My phone buzzed, a news alert about Anna. She'd been released from the hospital and transferred to a minimum security facility. Marley had recovered and agreed to testify in the criminal case. Still checking up on her? Kenneth asked. Old habits. Speaking of habits, he pulled out an envelope. This came for you today. Security checked it. It's safe. Inside was a single photograph. Anna and me in college, arms around each other, laughing at some forgotten joke. On the back, in her familiar handwriting, I would have shared it all with you if you had just chosen me. She still doesn't get it, I said, putting the photo down. It was never about choosing. No? Kenneth raised an eyebrow. It was about trust, truth. I stood, gathering my things. Things she never understood. April was waiting outside, textbooks under her arm. Ready for dinner? I'm buying. First paycheck from the new job. We walked to our favorite cafe, the one where this whole thing started. As we sat in what used to be Kenneth's corner booth, April pulled out her sobriety chip. 6 months, she said proudly. Turns out spite is a great motivator. I'm proud of you. Yeah? She stirred her coffee. I'm proud of you too, for stopping. What do you mean? The revenge, the monitoring, the need to control everything. She met my eyes. You're not checking her social media every hour anymore. Not jumping at every news alert. I checked today, I admitted. Once, not 50 times. April leaned forward. You're choosing to let go. That's harder than any revenge. My phone lit up, a text from Cade. Found something interesting in Anna's old files. Want to see? I typed back. No, I'm good. See? April grinned. Progress. The cafe door chimed. Aunt Daisy walked in, hesitating when she saw us. I waved her over. I was just dropping off some old family photos, she said, sliding into the booth. Found them while cleaning out my office. The photos spilled across the table. Mum and Dad's wedding, April's first day of school, me graduating law school, moments frozen in time before everything got complicated. Look at this one, April laughed, holding up a faded Polaroid. Remember that summer at the lake when you taught me to swim? You were terrified, I smiled, but you trusted me. Still do. She squeezed my hand. Always will. Daisy cleared her throat. I have something else. Anna's mother's original evidence against me. I thought, maybe it's time to face it, whatever happens. We'll help, I said. That's what family does. My phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. Some ghosts don't haunt, they wait quietly for you to become them. I showed April and Daisy. Together, we deleted it. You know what Mom would say right now? April asked. That karma works both ways, I replied. It can destroy you, or it can heal you, she finished. If you let it. Outside, the city was coming alive with evening light. We walked together, 3 generations of complicated women, carrying our scars and our hopes. Anna had been right about one thing. Karma does wait quietly. But not for us to become our enemies. It waits for us to become ourselves again. I looked at April, laughing at something Daisy said, and felt the last piece of Anna's hold on me fade away. Some ghosts don't haunt, they teach. And sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction, it's reconstruction. Hey, April called. You coming? I smiled, jogging to catch up. Yeah, I'm right here. Where I should have been all along.